Hey, it's Alan Langelo from A Plus Racing, bringing you another video on our Econo Spec Miata. All right, come in closer. We got Janae filming today. She's a rookie, but she'll do a good job. So, hey, I want to show you a trick that I use to hook up a remote trunk release. So we have the factory trunk release inside the car where the center console would have been, but I like to add a remote trunk release. So if we're out here, I don't have to get in the car and try to figure out how to open the trunk. So let me show you how to do that. So what it's basically going to have happen is I'm going to have a cable come out of here where the key lock is at. So a cable will come out, and that way we can just pull the cable and then the trunk will open. All right. Okay. So, but the first step on an NA, it's really easy because we can undo the lock from the inside. On an NB, the bolts come in from the other direction, so it makes it a little harder. So the first thing I have to do is I have to take off the rear bumper. All right. So the first steps, I'll show you the tools. So I just got a basic, Phillips straight screwdriver, a rack of sockets, a ratchet, a couple of hammers, some cable, and then the little cable ends I use, and I can show you some tricks on this, pair of pliers. So I'm going to go ahead and take the tail lenses off. So I just undo these Phillipses here. And then there's some 10 millimeters on the inside here. Right here, looks like this one's already loose. Somebody's probably already been in here once before. Okay, well, there's that one. There's one up here. It's left loose too. Well, the tail ends is probably ready to fall out. All right, so I got those. So just the two, and then it should just come right off. All right. So I have a choice here in taking this off. I can either undo the bulbs like this, and they just twist off like that. Okay. We got some wires hung up here. Okay. Or you can also undo them where you can take the whole wiring harness off by disconnecting this connector and then pushing them through. Okay. So that's one way. So we got that one off. We'll set that there. Let's go do this one. Okay. Yeah, these ones are left loose too. I think if I remember right, that when I bought this off my buddy, it didn't have any lights. And I provided the lights, and I think the kids just didn't tighten anything back up once they put them back on. All right. So 10 millimeters on the inside. Take it off. And we're getting close. I think the seat and a few other little things, and we'll be able to take this baby to the racetrack. All right. Looks like it's already missing a light there. Might be a good idea to replace these bulbs with new ones. Okay. All right. I got that off. I can see I got a couple of bolts right here. 2 10s. So I'm going to go ahead and take those off. And there's nothing really hard about getting this bumper off. It's just a lot of bolts. It looks like this one has a bolt and a nut. Usually this is welded to the body, but I wonder if somebody broke it off at some time. Who knows where this thing has been since before I got it, but we're going to end up having to go through the whole car anyways just to make sure that it's safe for high-speed operation. All right, so I got that. Okay, so this part is loose. I'm going to go ahead and lift it up, and we got some stuff underneath the car to take off, so let me lift it up. All right, I think that's good enough. Okay, so if you come on in here, yeah, someone's definitely been in here. Come on over here, Jen, over my shoulder here. So there's supposed to be these little plastic clips that go right here and one right there, but it looks like they're already missing. So those parts are off. Let's go look at the other side. We're gonna have to put those back on. All right, so this one's missing. Oh, it's got a bolt right here. I guess we should have brought our tools with us. All right, so luckily it's just finger tight. So I think somebody's had this bumper off. This is usually a plastic clip, but like I said, it looks like it's obvious that somebody's been in here. But when we put this thing back together, we're gonna get it righty-tighty. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, nothing up there. All right, so let me go up a little bit more. All right, let's look under here. Okay. All right, so we have these little plastic clips right here that need to come off. And so they look like a Phillips, but they're not a Phillips, all right? And I left all the tools in the trunk. So we're gonna put it on pause like I get my tools back. We'll be right back. Okay, I got a Phillips. All right, come in closer and I'm gonna show you what we're talking about. So right here is a little plastic clip. This one's missing one here. There's one missing here, and this one's here. But it almost looks like it's broken. So sometimes these unthread. Sometimes you just have to pop them off. So this one here is the unthreadable type. So we don't want to lose or try not to break these if we don't have to. See how this one's just spinning? Nothing's happening. So in this case, we might have to just pry it down a little bit. Get underneath it. Apply some pressure while I try to unthread it. If not, we'll just have to kind of snap it off. I don't see it coming off of there. No, I don't see it coming off. We're gonna have to break the plastic, which happens from time. It's not even really attached here. I think the whole thing's ready to fall off. Okay, all right. All right, let's lower it down a little bit. And I think we got a couple of lights we got to unplug, but you can probably pull it back a little ways and see what's going on. I think it just snapped into place right now. So I think we almost got it off. It's not a big job. There's a lot of little fasteners that hold that bumper on, but it's not a overly hard ordeal. So I know you could do this at home. It's not a big deal. The kids do these on the cars all the time. And I like having the remote trunk open, and it just makes it so much easier than having to reach in the car and or with the hard top on to pull this stuff off. Okay. I think now it's just snapped into place. Okay, there's the bumper. All right, so this is the part we want to get to here in order to get this out. It looks like I need to lower it just a little bit more. That should be all right. Okay, so it's held on with two 10mm bolts right here. So I'm going to take these two 10s off. The kids did a great job of painting over them. Okay, there's one. We're not going to have to reuse these, so we don't have to keep them. Then it has a little clip right here. So if you've never done these clips before, it has a slot in it, and I just push down on the clip like that, and I swing it out of the way, and then this comes out like that. Okay, and then here's our lock. All right, so we don't need that. We're going to get rid of that. And then we're going to take off the latch because we need to get to the latch. So just held on with these two 10s right here. And there's a cable going to this because that's the release that goes inside the car where the center console was at. So we're going to keep both of those. We're going to keep that on there, and then we're going to add a remote. And we're going to add the remote to that metal rod that was going to the key. Okay, so I'll set these here. Okay, right here. Okay, so right here is where we're going to add the cable. All right, so once again, I need to take this off, and you can see that we're just going to push down right there like that. And then this comes right off. And then we can remove that by going like that. Okay. So it's all apart. All right. It's as far apart as we need to go. What we're going to use now is a cable. Now this cable came from the hood release of a car. I don't know if it was this one or a different car. Usually it has a little ball right here, which makes it really nice because then I just put that in the hole and we're good to go. But we've already used this one once and the ball is missing. So there's a couple ways I can do this. And one of them, and I'll just show you. So here's the little guys I use. Now, sometimes what I'll do is if I'm really cheaping it out, I won't go and spend the money on these. Sometimes I'll just take a piece of lead weight from the wheel, and then I'll cut some of it off and I'll drill a hole in it, and I put this through there, and then I hit it with a hammer, and then that locks it on here. So in this case, I'm going to use these little ends here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed it through here like that. And then I'm going to come through my hole like that. All right. And now I'm going to bring it back through here again. Like that. Okay. And so I'm going to hold this all together. Find something metal here on the car. And then I'm going to hit it with a hammer. I wonder if I could do it right here. Probably use the ball peen part. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is crush this together so that another part here, so that it squeezes on it. Okay, like that. Okay, so now I got a nice tight fitting on that. Okay, so I can go ahead and put this back on. Okay, like that. Hey, one trick I want to tell you is that sometimes I see people on Facebook that post, hey, I locked my keys in the trunk and I don't know how to get into the trunk, and they don't have this setup. Do you see this little plug right here? These are water plugs that you can take out, and then if there was water here in the trunk, it would drain out. So what I usually do is I push one of those plugs out, and then I just come inside with a big screwdriver or something, and I can hit this latch, and I can unlatch it. Okay. All right. That's a free subscription tip. All right. So here's my cable. I think I'm just going to run it through one of these. I'll just run it through this big hole right here. Okay, like that. All right. Let's test it. Okay. So trunk is shut. All right, and that's what I want to see. Okay, trunk shut, and it goes back on. All right. Okay, I see some things that need to be tidied up here. If you notice, this is not bolted on. So I'm going to go ahead and bolt all this stuff up to where it's supposed to be while I got the bumper off. And then we're going to be back in just a minute to finish this up. All right, be back in a minute. Okay, we're back, and I painstakingly bolted the bumper back on all by myself. All right, so we took the lights off, and Janae was going to tell us which ones went where. Did you get them off, Janae? And all right, so do we know which ones go where? Because I forgot where we took them off.
I think this one goes, the orange ones go on the left, and this one goes on the right.
Okay, so these go like this. All right, we're going to know when we turn on the lights and nothing works right. Okay, I got my cable through here. All right, and so we're going to go ahead and place the bumper back on now. I'm going to feed my cable through this hole, the keyhole. All right. Set this back up there. And I think I'll put these ones in first. I'm not going to tighten anything down until I kind of got it a little bit more secure. Oh, let's use this one. Okay, that one goes to there. Got a nut on this side. All right, these just pop in. See how it's got this little football thing right here? So this part usually just pops in there. I think it's not going, we're not up all the way yet. We might have something hanging up on this side. There it goes. All right. Okay, well, there's our little football. And there it goes. Pop that in place. This one here. Line it all up there. I think I got it in there. All right. Okay, so that's in. And while I'm up here, I'm going to go ahead and put my tail lights on. All right, so this is my backup light. Okay, Janae, which one was it? So it goes.
This one goes on here.
So which one goes in the middle?
This one. This one here.
This one? Okay. So we line it up, twist in place. And you say this is our backup light. Okay, twist it in place. This one's going to need a bulb. It's a turn signal. Not that we really use turn signals in a race car. It looks like this one's got a broken little bracket on it. There it goes. Okay. Two 10mm nuts on this side. Okay, I'm going to tighten those up. Probably should have my little electric gun, but we'll go manual. I could use the exercise. Okay, that one's on. Get this back one in place. All right. And then this goes here. Okay, this side. All right, Janae, let's see. This goes like this. Were you saying this one was the backup light? Okay.
And then the yellow one is in the middle, and the orange is on the side.
Okay. Okay. And then this one in the middle. Okay. And when we go to test the lights, I think we got some bad bulbs here anyhow, so if it wasn't right, we'll deal with it then. Okay. 210s. One there, one way over here. Okay. All right, I'll tighten them up. Hey, the one thing goofy about doing this on the NA is they got some weird sized nuts holding the tail lenses on. So they act like they are 10 millimeter, but they're not a 6 millimeter stud. They're smaller. And the whole car, the only place it uses those is on the taillights of an NA. They're just special for that only. All right, we're going to put this in here. Okay. All right. I'm going to do the bottom part last. I want to go ahead and show you how I do this. Okay? All right. So what I do is I take a washer. All right? And I'm going to put it through here. And the reason why I do that is because sometimes on some of the cars when I didn't do this and I had this like this, that this whole thing got sucked up in there somehow and I have no way of getting it out. By putting a washer on there, it helps me to not allow it to go inside the trunk. So I need another one of my little ends here. There it is. Okay, I'm going to weave this on here like that. And I want this on the inside of the trunk. Okay, so here it is right here. Okay, now I'm going to take my washer. I'm going to go through that like that. I bring this back through here. And I'm going to come back through my little holder. Like that. Okay, so now I adjust this to whatever length I want. Okay, and this keeps it from getting sucked up inside there. Okay, so about right there. So what I'm going to do is I can either use a ball peen hammer and set it here like that and then hit it. I happen to have an auto body dolly, so I'm just going to set this up here like that, and then I'm going to hit it. Okay, and then I'll cut this excess off before we're done. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. Let's check it out. Uh-oh. There it goes. So I think what's happened is we're catching on our little, there we go, our little weight. So what I can do to fix that, okay, so I'll tell you what I did wrong. Yes, I made a mistake. Janae is just excited about that. All right, so here's what I did. And it was like a 1 in a million shot that if you notice, it gets caught right here. Okay, the little weight I put on. So what I can do is wrap this up with electrical tape, or I could cut it off and start over, but I'll probably wrap it up with electrical tape, and then it won't get stuck right there. Okay? All right, so we're going to come back to that part. All right, so let's go ahead and button up the bottom of it. So in order, well, I'll lift it up. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Come on in close over here. Is if you notice that there are these holes right here where plastic clips are supposed to be on, and we're missing all of the plastic clips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some 10mm nuts and bolts, and then we'll do that on both sides here, especially right here. Okay, so right here where there's a slot and a hole right here, we're definitely going to put a nut and bolt right there, and then we'll get them here. So I'll be right back. We're going to get that done. Okay, so I'm back. Come here and take a look what I did. So I put bolts in here. Instead of those plastic little clips that hold this piece on, I went ahead and bolted it on. I also made sure I got a bolt right up in here, okay, so that it's pretty sturdy. Come on, look at the other side. So this one's the same way, got nuts and bolts here. We couldn't get to this one, but heck, we won't charge any extra. But we definitely got one up in here, so this is all good and solid. So now let's finish up the top. So let me lower the car down. And we almost got this wrapped up. Not that hard. Pretty easy modification and very low cost. I mean, there have been times I went and bought the cable, but you can also use the cable from the regulator, the door regulator for the window. We've used those. The hood release is what I commonly use. Okay. All right, so if you also look in here, I went ahead and I taped up that end. I mean, it was a 1 in a million chance. If I'd have brought it up here, we wouldn't have had this problem. But so I went in and taped that off, and all I have left now is this. And so I'm just going to take a pair of snips and just snip this off like that. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's we need to tighten these back up. Okay. Last one here. All right. Okay, tail ends are on tight. This is bolted back on, size. This works. All right, so let's check it out. All right. We got a remote trunk release. There you go. Hey, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for watching the video. I guess it's just all around thank you. And I'll see you at the racetrack. Bye now.